Back now to our top story. And since this debate exploded over the weekend, several presidential contenders have weighed in, and the back and forth between Donald Trump and Jeb Bush. Here now, presidential candidate Senator Marco Rubio. Senator, good to see you. So Mr. Trump then later tried to claim that he was not blaming President Bush for the attacks on 9/11, but was just saying that he failed to keep us safe, as Jeb Bush has claimed. Do you believe he was blaming George Bush for 9/11?
Well, I don't know, but I can tell you that, first of all, the people that were here that conducted those attacks were here legally on student visas, so that program needs to be reformed. But more importantly, the 9/11 attacks were the result of an intelligence failure, of an inability to pick up diffuse different signals, all of which were indicating that something was going to be done, that al-Qaeda was going to act. But nothing was done about it. And so it was more than anything else, it was an intelligence failure, which is why the next president needs to rebuild the intelligence capabilities of the United States, which have been severely damaged over the last few years by the Snowden revelations and by all sorts of other things that have happened with regards to it. And that really is what led to the 9/11 attacks, and they predate George W. Bush's presidency.
But at this moment, Donald Trump is giving a speech, and he is attacking you as weak on immigration and saying that he claims your poll numbers took a dive based on immigration. And his point is he is the toughest candidate there is on immigration, and he would have cracked down even on the student visas that allowed a lot of these terrorists into the country prior to 9/11.
Well, 6 months ago, he was saying he was in favor of legalization for the people that were here illegally. He openly criticized Mitt Romney for using the term self-deportation. He can claim that's what he is now, but that's not what he was just weeks before he ran for president.
The other suggestion is that Jeb Bush had some hand in not keeping us safe, because when governor of Florida, some of the terrorists who attacked us on 9/11 obtained driver's licenses or ID cards. Do you believe that accusation has any merit by Trump?
It has nothing to, they were here on student visas, and so we most certainly have to improve the student visa program, and it has been since that time to some extent. But it was an intelligence failure that led to that attack. And again, it's quite frankly, I mean, it has very little to do with what's facing our country moving forward. The threat we face today is not just from people that are going to come from abroad. The threat we face today is even more serious. It is people living in the U.S., born in the U.S., some of whom have never traveled outside the U.S., and are being recruited by ISIS using social media to join their cause.
There's also been a dust-up between yourself and Governor Bush over the weekend when it comes to the money raised in your campaigns for president. I raise it because your campaign communications director came out and said, here's why Marco Rubio's campaign has more cash in the bank than Jeb Bush for president, claiming that you had $11 million compared to his 10. The reason I raise it with you is because his communications director came out and accused you of lying, flat out lying about your budget, saying you picked up something in the Senate. And then Jeb Bush himself came out and said you misled people because, in fact, you have $9.7 million in the bank. He has more than you. He has 10. The extra million you have can only be used in the general. They think you've misled the American people on the numbers. What say you?
Well, first of all, that's publicly disclosed. The numbers speak for themselves, and we're very happy where we are as an organization. We have a lot of work ahead of us. The American people are very upset about the direction of our country. They've given Republicans a chance to govern. Nothing changes. They gave Democrats a chance to govern. Nothing good happens. They gave both parties a split of the government. Things stagnated. And so people are frustrated. But this campaign is going to be about that frustration for us, but it's also going to be about how do we fix it.
Well, understood. But they're saying that you've misled in the attempt to seize that mantle and be our next leader, that you have misled, and they think this misleading may be characteristic of a tendency to mislead. And that's why I raise it with you, because they said your communications director said you had more cash in the bank than Jeb Bush for president, and that is not true.
Well, again, the numbers speak for themselves. They're publicly disclosed. People can look at it and draw their own conclusion.
But then why mislead on them?
Really
Why say you have more than when you don't?
Yeah, well, we didn't mislead. The numbers are there, and it shows what we've raised. And here's the bottom line. We're very comfortable with where we are as an organization and how we spend our money and the progress that we've made as a campaign. And the reason why that matters is because it gives us the resources to talk about what we will do if we're given a chance to be president, which is what this campaign needs to be about.
Marco Rubio now at third place in the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, behind Donald Trump at 25, Carson at 22. Marco Rubio, you are up a couple of points from 11 to 13%, and in third place, according to the latest numbers. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Well, Dr. Ben Carson has taken heat from the media in recent weeks, but tonight a first, as one publication seems to be encouraging its readers to file complaints against the candidate. Chris Steyerwalt is next on that. Plus, the Texas teen who became a national figure over a science project that looked like a bomb is visiting the White House at this moment. Just ahead, we'll show you where he went while traveling overseas and why this is causing controversy tonight.
The president meet with him or take a selfie with him? What is the signal that the president is trying to send by inviting him? And, you know, there are people like Senator Cruz who say that the president is giving a lot more respect to Ahmed than, say, to police who face dangers every day.